Hello everybody, it's Tuesday evening, it's after court. It was a real busy day today. Didn't have a lot of time to give an update down there at the courthouse tonight, so I thought I'd try something a little different. Give you a little update on what's going on. My phone is saying I have really poor connection, so I may not even be able to go live from here. But we thought we would try this and see what we can do. My intentions are tonight is kind of recap what happened today in the last couple of weeks, maybe from Nevada and in Oregon here both, and take some questions from you guys. I see a lot of people coming on here quickly. Terry Lee and Larry and Gills, Sean. It's good to see everybody. Jody. Going to try to take some questions from people tonight and recap some of the court stuff that I might be missing when I give some of the live streams. It may not stay on here real long, but we'll see what we can come up with here and talk to you about. One of the things, I don't know if everybody caught on. Good evening there, Fred. How you doing? Neil Wampler. That was an awesome day today to see him make that stand and jump. We were in court, if everybody didn't catch that earlier, and the judge had just released let the jurors go out, and she was setting everybody back down to talk to the defense lawyers and figure out the next thing after court. I see somebody says it's blurry on here. I'm not for sure. I don't have good phone service out here where we're staying, so hopefully it good so far. How you doing, Ted? Miss you, brother. So just a choppy picture, but maybe I don't know what's going on here, but hopefully we won't stay on here too long. We'll answer a few questions. But Neil Wampler today, he stood up right there in the middle of court, and he says, Miss Brown, I'm back. It's me, Neil Wampler. And pretty awesome. He stood up right in front of everybody and yelled it out. And so it was great. He was all smiles about it. He asked the judge, he says, when do I get my stuff back? I was the one found not guilty. So everybody laughed, and the judge didn't take it too funny. But how you doing there, Al? So if anybody got any has any questions here, put them out here for me. I'm wanting to take some questions and about what's going on here. So we got a couple I see coming on here. Let me see if I can get it. It says, is Blaine Cooper testifying for the defense or the prosecution? Well, Catherine, he's been called by the prosecutors to testify on their behalf because he took a plea deal. We feel that Blaine Cooper doesn't have anything to testify that can hurt us. So we're excited to hear his testimony, and his is going to be in the next couple of days. He is right now sitting here in Portland in jail, and he's going to be called up any time. It could be tomorrow or the next day. We're expecting his testimony. So we don't expect him to be able to say anything that we already don't know that can't hurt us. He's pled guilty. We feel bad for him on that situation. We wish he had not, but that's the decision he made. And so he's going to jail, or going to be sentenced anyway for what he pled guilty to, no matter what his testimony is. So we feel comfortable there. Let me see here, get a couple more here. I don't know if I've got the best connection, so I apologize for that. I'm coming back over to Nevada, not next week, the week after. And I should be over there. I'm trying to stay here in Portland at least until Ryan Payne, Ammon Bundy, Pete Santilli testifies. I want to hear them, and then hopefully follow them back over to Nevada and keep following over there. I miss everybody over there, and I want to be a part of that too. I expect this case here in Oregon to go faster, and I bet you this one here will be over before the one in Nevada will be over with. The way things are going here, we're not going to be but a couple of more weeks or so, and this case is going to be over with. All four defendants today, they all gave their opening arguments, and the prosecutors. And we opened up with our first witness today. This first witness was Greg Bretzinger. He's the head of the FBI here in Oregon, and he's worked for the FBI for 22 years. He was still on the stand as we ended today, and so we are going to finish up with Greg tomorrow and some more testimony from him. And so things are going real good. The defense team is asking him questions when the day ended today. Blaine Cooper, see that ask again. Blaine Cooper is going to be testifying the next couple of days. He has been called by the by the prosecution, but we expect him. We don't expect anything new that he can testify against us that's really going to hurt us. What about Judge Brown's refusal to allow the jury trial, the misdemeanor charges? Fred, that's a good question. Yet we're having two trials at once. We're having a jury trial that the jurors are hearing on the main charges that the guys were charged with, the felony charges, and the judge is hearing the misdemeanor charges. So the jurors are going to deliberate and find their verdict on those. The judge is supposed to find her verdict on the misdemeanor charges. So we're having two trials at once. To me, it's like double jeopardy, but the law doesn't see it that way, but that's the way I feel it is, and that's what we're doing. That's the injustice. The jurors should have seen the whole case. They're hearing it anyway. So we're having still a jury trial only on the felony charges. We don't know if any more names of informants are going to be released. It's a good question that has been brought up today. We were this first witness that we had, Greg Bretzinger, he was testifying. He confirmed again on the stand publicly that Mark McConnell is an informant and he was working for the FBI. So that's like 3-4 times it's been confirmed over and over again, but it was confirmed today on the stand under oath from the head of the FBI, Greg Bretzinger, that 100% that Mark McConnell does work for the FBI, or at least has worked for the FBI. The transportation orders have been signed, and Ammon and Ryan Payne, I don't know about Ryan Bundy, but Ammon Bundy and Ryan Payne are supposed to be here along with Pete Santilli. I don't know exactly when they're going to come, but they are being brought over here eventually here. Yes, it's a bench trial on the misdemeanor, and it's being heard from the judge at the same time, or soon after anyway, that will follow up while the jurors in deliberation. Greg Bretzinger, am I pronouncing his name right? Bretzinger? I can't pronounce his name right. We'll just call him Greg. So, I don't have his name right, but I'm bad at names. I really chop them up. Yeah, I want to be here definitely. Greg Bretzing. So, he's an important guy. He's a witness that today he would say things like that I cannot recall. He didn't remember a lot for being in charge and having such an important job. Over and over again when Jason Patrick's attorney was questioning him on the stand, he could not recall a lot of things that he was asked. And one of them was he was asked how many informants were at the refuge, and he could not recall. He didn't know. A lot of things he couldn't answer. Let's look at some more answers here we've got here. People keep saying the prosecution's at a $100 million budget. I don't know what it is. I know it's a lot of money they're spending. They're wasting a lot of money here. Let's look here. I see William Fry here from Ohio. How you doing, William? We've got a lot of messages here. I'm going to try to catch up with some more of them. John and Joker J. Their names were, I know John Ritzheimer's name was brought up today only as being at the refuge, But that's about all I know. I haven't heard anything about a plea deal being changed or nothing like that. All I know is right now that he had pled guilty, and I know he was working on changing that plea. But I don't have any update on what's going on there. Lavoy Finicum, his name was brought up a lot today. The Constitution was brought up. It was a whole different outlook on this trial. The prosecution's not trying to hide as much about the Constitution this time, and they're also not trying to hide Lavoy Finicum's murder. That was brought up a lot. The guys' spirits here, Ted, are great. I think everybody was happy after the day's procedure, and so everybody was in good spirits when we left the court today. We was really pleased. We feel like we hit a home run today. One thing that caught my attention that was very interesting was that when Greg testified on the stand, he said they had a couple closed meetings when the governor of Oregon came to Burns, Oregon during the occupation, during the protest over there. So, to me, that just confirms that Kate Brown knew more than what she's letting on. Is Joe okay? I would say you're talking about Joe Robertson. I think Tina, I'm not for sure if that's the Joe you're talking about, but Joe is doing really good. I heard that he got his first visitor finally the other day. Someone from Montana went over and visited him in Englewood, Colorado. But it sounds like he's doing a lot better, and we're hearing some good things are happening for Joe. So Joe Robertson's, he's doing really good, and Lindsay's taking care of him excellent over there, trying to keep updates. And she's adopted him, and it's a blessing to have her so close to. So Lisa says that Ryan Bundy's coming. I had heard that was a rumor, Scott, and it sounds like it's true. If Lisa says that, that's great. I knew that it was a possibility. So it looks like we're going to have quite a few of them. Ryan Bundy, Ammon Bundy, Pete Santilli, Ryan Payne, Blaine Cooper. We're going to have a family reunion here in the courtroom. When they hear some of these testimonies, we're going to know we're going to be guaranteed another not guilty here for sure. Here again. Thank you, Debbie Gibson. The jurors, yes, Paula, that's a good question. We did have reactions from Jurors Day. I won't give the numbers. I've got a notebook here just full of notes and all kinds of. I done myself today, and I'm not really a note taker as much as some of the others, but I got to page 11 today. 11 pages of notes from all day. One of the jurors, during Jason Patrick's lawyer's opening arguments, when he was talking, a couple of the lawyers themselves were almost breaking down a little bit themselves with emotion, and one of the jurors were definitely feeling that emotion and crying just a little bit. It was an awesome day. We were all praying that the rest of these guys do get released, and we know it's going to be here soon. There's a good friend, Mikey Eamon from Montana. How you doing there, buddy? The misdemeanor bench trial may be a mistrial. I'm not for sure what's going to happen there, but we're not looking for a mistrial. We're looking for a not guilty verdict for sure, and we want what's the best interest. We don't want to go through this trial again for sure. It should have been dismissed is what it should have been, instead of some of the guys having to plead guilty to the trespassing charges. And we know that was a trick from the government to try to get some of these to do that, but because they don't have a case, so that's why they were doing this. But we definitely don't want a mistrial. I think we're not going to get a trial at all for the other charges, a jury trial anyway. We're not going to get a jury trial. We've exhausted all of our motions and means at this time, in this court anyway. I see Ollie says that Joe is hanging in there and doing good. So we're glad that he's doing good. We're glad that Ollie and Lindsay are over there helping him out in Colorado. See, someone says Brian from Michigan is praying for all the defendants. Thank you. We can use all your prayers and support. Anybody who gets over this way, you're welcome to help us out. We should have some signs up tomorrow. We got them here. We've just been pretty busy, and we haven't had a chance yet. Yet William Fry, Greg has he has a new job. He has a security job. Has had it for now about 3 weeks. So he's a security officer working for some company. I did get the company name, but I don't recall it right offhand without going through the notes. But he's a security officer for some company here in Oregon now. He worked for the FBI for 22 years. I haven't heard nothing much about the Hammonds. I know there's people visiting them in jail, that they go out there and fly signs out in front of the jail. But as of right now, they're still sitting in jail over there in California. Mumford's court case has been set for trial. So he's one of his charges got dropped, and he has 2 other charges that he's facing a bench trial, and he does not get a jury trial for his either. But he did get 1 charge dropped. I see there's a picture here. If somebody want to send me that meme or picture, please do. That'd be great. Try to look through some more questions here. I don't think so at all for that question there. That Victoria Sharp, is she one of the infiltrators? I don't see no way at all. She's not. She's just a young girl. Her family was in support of what was going on over there, and she got caught up in it. And there's accusations on both sides, but I don't see no possible way at all. Her name's never been brought up at all. She needs some time and some space to recoup from everything that goes on. There's full-grown men that can't handle what went on here, and it takes somebody strong in their spirit to be able to stand up in these hard times like this. Lindsay is awesome. So Ryan Bundy may come. It says, yeah, so that's what we're hearing, that Ryan Bundy may be here. I've seen that Lisa did her first live stream. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I'll try to get over there. I see Gavin says that thanks for the updates. Thanks, Gavin, for your updates there, too. I lost that message. I'm trying to go back, and I can't figure out how to do it. I didn't read all of Gavin's message there, but I know Gavin has a live stream planned for any time, so here real soon, too, in the next few minutes. But thanks a lot, Gavin. So Ryan Payne is definitely coming. I know Ryan Payne is definitely coming over here to testify. The charges that are before the judge are a range of misdemeanor charges. They're Class B misdemeanor charges, and so the judge is hearing like trespassing and some other charges that are added charges that after we got the not guilty verdict back in October, the prosecutors decided to add some new charges, and they're all these new charges are all misdemeanor. And those are going to be a bench trial before Judge Anna Brown and not before a juror. How you doing there, Arthur? Lee Arthur Rice? So a little bit going on. My thoughts on Jeff Sessions. I really don't know nothing about Jeff Sessions, and just by what I'm seeing on social media, so I don't have a lot I can say about him. I've been told he's a good guy, but other than that, I really don't know except what I'm just seeing on social media myself. I know I've seen some stuff on Pence and Vice President Pence, and I appreciated some of his standing that he was doing. He had some good speeches that he put out that I actually watched myself. But Session, I don't know nothing about him. So I don't see, let me see. Adverse possession is not trespassing. That's what Fred says. Adverse possession was brought up several times today by the defense team of some of the reasons why they went to the refuge, why Ammon Bundy was filed an address of grievances, and so that's going to be. It sounds like it's going to be a part of this case. It is actually talked about several times in the opening arguments. I see Philip all the way from Alaska. Thanks for joining us. See from Florida, people are praying. It's a hard thing. Most people are afraid to go to a jury trial to face a jury, so that's why a lot of people do plead, because it's real hard to get a fair trial anymore, even with the juries. A lot of times it's stacked against us. Most cases, I think I've read statistics that said over 90% anyway, it might be even like 98% of people are found not guilty in these courts. What's going on with Ammon? Ammon is awaiting trial in Nevada. His trial has not came up yet. We have 6 other defendants that are on trial there at this time. And so Ammon will be over here in Portland to testify on the behalf of the defendants here. But other than that, Ammon is just, he's awaiting trial and preparing himself for the trial that's coming up probably in April, but it's not set in stone. Luana says she's still waiting on a baby. So I think her daughter or somebody is in labor at the hospital, it sounds like. So congratulations on the new baby, and let me know what it is. I keep seeing it says, what's going on with Ammon? So we're just waiting. Ammon's waiting on trial, and he's going to come over. He's being transported over here to Oregon to testify on the defendants here. Jason being kicked out of the courtroom. That was like last week. He didn't have his ID with him, and they gave him a little issue. I actually didn't ask him all the details on it, but I know that there was some incident that happened on one day there, but Jason's been in court here every day of this jury selection and the day for opening arguments. So Jason's not missing for sure. They did not remove the bullet from Ryan Bundy's arm. He still has that bullet, so. I was talking about your, you said, Luella, you was talking about your daughter or somebody going to have a baby. So let us know what when she has that baby. I'm saying congratulations. Victoria Sharp is a nice young lady. Well, that's about all the update I have. I don't have much more to give you a report today. Tomorrow we listening to from that are brought up, and we expect that last the next 2 or 3 days. The computer they need 5 days, maybe day 1. So we have 4 or 5 more days left, and then the team will take over and start calling witnesses. So Tuesday of next week, possibly Wednesday. It looks like we're going to have the defendants take over. You know, it's a hard question on some of these, and I know some of them need to be answered sometimes. Why would she friend McConnell? You know, everybody has friends, and they make their choices, and maybe we wouldn't have that same friend, but she went through a lot. They're shot at being in that truck, and something make friends on this, and them are her decisions. But she's that's what she did. So I wouldn't joke. McConnell might have made some mistakes, and we don't like him for what he did, but hopefully he repents for what he did. So that's what we're hoping. I don't see a lot more questions here. I'll be back to you at noon tomorrow, and give you some more updates as we get our break. And